Thanksgiving begins a very special time of the year for us. It's the time of peace and reflection, and of getting ready for the new year. One thing we should all be thankful for is that we live in America, where we have the freedom to change things and the opportunity to...
Welcome to the Drunk Turkey Show.
It was bull fucking me. How is? What the...
Starring Big Blue.
Okay, can I say hi, Kim?
Hi. Oh, I love you. You are just like a giant.
Lady Liberty just squirted in my face. And when you do drink with a straw, the myth is you get more drunk because you get more air mixed in.
Hi, Maggie.
Like, you know how the fans going like this? It goes,
Yeah.
when it hits my butthole. Last time I went to Mexico, I stopped by a little stand and the lady had gloves. I was like, lady, take off those gloves. I need that. Getting piercings, you can feel good and like it tastes good. What the hell's the point of this?
And Daniel J.
I got a friend named John Martinez who's not allowed in the library. Giants being spotted in the Mexican mountains. I really get to check out sometime. I think that was Jaime walking up there in the mountains. He's about six.
It's like the Steelers. You can love them, but you
better watch
Take it easy. Take it easy.
I'm 3
Get him
beers
off.
in, mother trucker.
Get him off the fucking stream, please.
I'm fucking 3 beers in, bro. You don't want to fuck with me right
Shit, you ruin our friendship like this,
Greetings
man.
from the year 3000. It still sucks. This is Philip J. Pride, and you're listening to the Drunken Turkey Show. Your one stop for this sort of thing. Hit that button, like and subscribe. You know what to do, just like every other podcast.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Drunk Turkey Show. I'm your host, Daniel J. Alongside with me, as always, I'm in Big Blue. Hi, man. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. Just here in during lunch. On the live during lunch.
Yeah, live during lunch, man. That's a good thing. Blue, how are you doing, man? Are you doing the same?
No, man. I'm already off of work, but I probably got
live.
I'm not alive. I got like 3 hours of sleep, man. So I'm like trying to keep it up, trying to keep up.
No, I hear you, man. I hear you. It's a grind sometimes. So today we have a little bit of a different type of channel or different show today. We're going to be stepping away from true crime just for a moment and go into some pretty interesting topic that has been buzzing around on the news, and it is referring to extraterrestrials. So the Pentagon came out recently about the possibility of a mothership in our solar system. In my opinion, I think they're trying to explain some of the China spy balloons that were found out in space, right? Mm-hmm. But they say don't discount the mothership in the solar system. Now, I can't help but laugh when I say that. But what just first and foremost, Jaime, what is your first knee-jerk reaction hearing the Pentagon UFO chief says alien mothership in our solar system is a possibility?
That's crazy, man. Like years before, we were, it's all conspiracies, and now like certain little things are coming out and about through the Pentagon. You know what I mean? They're leaking out videos and whatnot. So it's kind of refreshing, I guess you could say.
Yeah. What about you, Big Blue? What were your thoughts? Did you see this article with skepticism, with belief? What did you think, Blue?
Yeah, man. I thought it was crazy, because before they was like, no, they're not real, they're not real. Now like, oh, it is real. We have pictures, we have videos, we have an actual team that studies them, and they're like, dang, we weren't all crazy.
Right. Well, maybe. I want to believe that it's real, but yeah. I'm super skeptical on it, to be honest with you. Bob Lazar coming out, in the 90s and things like that kind of got my belief into it, seeing, videos of craft that defy logic when it comes to physics. Maybe it's just defining physics as we know it, not so much as what is really out there. You know what I mean? Like perhaps, in my opinion, I think that perhaps the government may have technology that they've created themselves that's a lot more advanced what they're releasing to the public. And so to the public, it may seem imaginable, unimaginable. However, it is what's real. So let's read this post. This is from the militarytimes.com. Observation post: Pentagon UFO chief says alien mothership in our solar system is a possibility. There is a possibility that extraterrestrial motherships and smaller probes may be visiting planets in our solar system. The head of the Pentagon Unidentified Aerial Phenomenon Research Office noted in a report draft shared Tuesday. An artificial interstellar object could potentially be a parent craft that releases many small probes during its close passage to Earth. On operational construct not too dissimilar from NASA missions. And so right there, they're basically saying that not just Earth, they said planets in our solar system. So for whatever reason, this top researcher or for the the Pentagon's unidentified aerial phenomenon research office,
Yeah.
that there may be some probes going to the planets in the solar system. I think I want to see some evidence of why he thinks that. What do you think?
No, yeah, definitely, man. Shit, that'd be crazy, man. Bring up evidence and everything like that. Danger. All the people who were saying they were crazy, they're not gonna say that anymore.
Yeah.
Nah, man, they're gonna go from crazy to prophet.
But they go, yeah, but like, I remember we were talking about it last time. That like they kind of try to like. I feel like they try to tell us the truth through movies and stuff.
Right.
And like Independence Day kind of almost feels like that.
Yeah, like a little bit of a soft disclosure kind of gets you okay with the idea of what these
Yeah.
may look like, their technology, what may or may not happen, so that way we're more prepared and not freaked out. Oh, I hear you. I hear you.
Yeah, like almost like desensitizing us.
Yeah.
Exactly. So this thing says, it goes, Sean Kirkpatrick, director of Pentagon's All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, wrote in a research report co-authored by Abraham Leo, chairman of Harvard University's astronaut department, which is this man, Leo, also goes by Avi. Kirkpatrick, who was appointed as director of AARO when it was founded in July 2022, previously served as chief scientist at the Defense Intelligence Agency Missile and Space Intelligence Center. The AARO was established to investigate unidentified objects of interest around the military installations, according to the Pentagon press release. Loeb, on the other hand, gained notoriety when he proposed that our solar system had been traversed by its first extrasolar visitor in October of 2017. At that time, the Pond Stars telescope in Hawaii detected an object moving at a speed that caused some scientists to suggest that it originated outside of our solar system. The orbit also hinted that other forces besides the sun's gravitational pull influenced its movement. The scientists dubbed this object Oumuamua, the Hawaiian term for scout, which is this object right here.
Mm-hmm.
I think Blue has seen a scout before in the pool.
Yeah, so it's quite a few of those.
Which Kirkpatrick and Leobi offer a research paper as an example of a possible mothership with probe capabilities. So, are you familiar with Avi Leob or Loeb? I'm not sure. This guy's work.
No. At first, I thought it was Steve Jobs, but he's a little bit darker complected. Oh, it's not Steve Jobs.
Nah, Steve Jobs been a while, man.
I know.
Basically, what had happened was this craft here. Let me remove the Scout. The Oumuamua was this object that was discovered in our solar system, right? And it was traveling at a speed or a distance that made it appear that it was not from our solar system, right? So, for the most part, all the planets orbit the sun on a somewhat of a flat plane, right? And this thing was coming in from an angle that wouldn't have been from our solar system. And so one of the crazy things was, as that object went around the sun, based on its speed, weight, size, and density, and all those other factors, that the scientists were able to put together I guess an algorithm or whatever, put it into their algorithms and came out with an area of travel in which that vehicle should have gone based on gravity, and it didn't. It moved. It kind of propelled itself in a different direction that they didn't expect, so much that they believe that it was possibly a a force by itself, that it used some kind of thrust or some kind of way of moving its path, changing its path that it was on. And so there was a couple of things about the object. Was that it was flat, it was somewhat elongated and almost like a disc, kind of sort of, but more like just like a flat disc, not so much like a circular one, more like a cigar, like if you had a cigar and flattened it. And so a lot of scientists had stated that that type of shape and that type of going through the atmosphere and through interstellar solar system, the interstellar universe, isn't, basically they're saying that that's not the shape you would expect to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would expect more of like an asteroid style, like a round ball sphere. Get what I'm saying? So those were some of the things that made this guy believe that this was a possibility, that it was a something else. And so what I guess now is coming out, or what these guys are trying to allude to, is that there's possibly, if that was a probe, maybe perhaps there's other probes. And if there are, they don't believe that these probes are traversing the universe or the solar system from one place. There may be a bigger ship. You know what I'm saying? A mothership letting go of these probes. Thank you so much. We appreciate y'all.
Oh, yeah.
So, what do y'all think about that? Do you think that there's a possibility of a mothership? What, coming to Earth? And let's just play devil's advocate, and let's just say that there is a mothership somewhere in our solar system. Do you think that's a good or bad thing for humanity? We'll start off with you, Jaime.
I think it's a bad thing for them, man. They don't know. We got Biden as a president. All different things going on with our politics, our country, our world to begin with. You know what I mean?
Right.
There's a possibility of war. I mean, I think it's better for them, not for us.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's if they're coming in peace. If they're coming in with some nefarious thoughts, then it may be bad for us, huh?
Yeah, especially like if we get our hands on, like the government gets hands on their weapons or whatnot, that we can use them, they can use them for evil and stuff. You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, supposedly we watched the video here on this channel earlier this couple weeks ago, maybe a month ago. Russia claims to have shot one down.
Yeah.
And they got some video of it. Big Blue, what do you think? Do you think if there are probes, if there is a mothership, what do you think they're doing here, and do you think that's good or bad for humanity? You're muted, bro.
There you go. If they are here, I think they're just, like we would do. We found something, we investigate it first, see if they're friendly, see if they're not, and see what resources we have and what resources that they can use from us. So it could be something bad. But I just wanted to ask y'all this question. Do you think they're releasing this kind of type of information right now because of all the banks that are failing, and they want us to get distracted about what's going on in the real world?
Man, that's a good question. I think you're probably right.
Yeah. Silicon Valley, baby.
I mean, there's a lot of things that are going on today's society. And I think that's the bigger question, right? Big Blue, is what are they trying to hide? Right? What are they trying to distract us with? Yeah. And I think you're right, man. I think you're right. And there's a reason why we put Mr. Corbell on the thumbnail. And that is, I thought I gave him quite a bit of credibility throughout his, time in ufology and following UFOs. But when he came out with those upside down triangle ships outside of the naval base, and it was ended up determined to have been an effect when you look at a camera through magnifying glass, that it creates a light gets distorted and it ends up showing up as a shape of a triangular pyramid. Any light, and that's why all the lights in the sky look that way, whether it was a star or an aircraft or a drone. And that it was found out that those objects ended up being just drones, and yet he still is kind of defending that no, it's not a drone, it's not this, I know that. And so my thought is just like what you guys brought up. Is it possible they're trying to use him and others to, look over here? Yeah. And so, what are your thoughts on the bank situation, Blue? You brought it up.
Well, I thought it was crazy how, I mean, they're using the insurance funds to be able to cover the banks. They're not going to do like a 2008 or was it 2008 bailout?
Yeah.
So, but now they're saying instead of just 2 banks, there's already like 6 banks on the edge of collapse. My worry is what about those? If these banks are big enough to hold people's mortgages, huge loans. It's been pretty crazy for a little while. Pretty crazy, What if it's the start of another recession, but even bigger than before?
Yeah, that would be definitely crazy.
I mean, you saw yesterday when they were interviewing. I saw it. I'm not sure if I sent it to you. They were trying to interview Biden about it, and they started asking about the other banks, and he walked right out the room. Didn't even answer a question.
Oh yeah,
he can barely make the damn door off. He missed it once, I think, before he can get out of the room because he was in such a hurry.
Well, I don't know if that's because he was in a hurry. Yeah, I didn't see that, man, and I. So the question comes out: do you think? All right, so maybe perhaps it is a distraction tool, right? But does it mean that it has to be fake? Like, is it possible that they're distracting us with real something so that there's something to be distracted? Because if they distract us with something fake, it could be easily debunked. Then the attention comes square back on, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that whole bank situation is pretty shady. Do any of you guys know about the economics behind it? Like, for instance, Blue, you brought up house mortgages. If these banks go under, what happens to people's houses?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. I'm not an economics guy.
I think there's. I think maybe what's happening there with the banks, it might have to do with like getting rid of the dollar, man. Going all into crypto and that.
Well, weren't these banks involved in crypto, the ones that are needing this bailout?
No, they bought like insurance trusts from the government.
We got a $20 super chat from Dougie C. It says, keep people talking about this stuff. We just don't quite get it. Whoa. Man, my dyslexia is kicking in today. Keep people talking about the stuff we just don't quite get. Thank you. Sorry about that, guys.
What's it called? There's a comment about somebody posted up something about Fire in the Sky.
Yeah.
So they were saying that we should watch it. Oh, that was I think that was one of our main topics in the beginning of our channel, right?
Yeah, I think we started off with Bob Lazar, went to Travis Walton.
Yeah.
We do have a video that I want to show you guys while we're on the topic of UFOs.
A long time no see.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I think
This is pictures taken of something flying overhead. Now, let me pause this. That looks like a little alien dude, right? You see it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can blow it up even bigger. That's as zoomed in as I can get. All right. So, little alien guy. This looks like a balloon to me, y'all. With a little fake alien drawing. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
Man, there's so many videos out there. Like on TikTok, it's crazy. There's some that like they look legit, bro. Like they look legit.
Yeah.
And then you find out later, like, oh, that was something else. So like, damn it.
Oh, thank you so much, Higher Ground.
Yeah, we got $20 super sticker.
Thank you so much for your support. We appreciate you. Now, do you think for these guys to come out here with mothership, talk, do you think that there's perhaps evidence of it? Now they mentioned probing the planets in the solar system.
Yeah.
Maybe one of these rovers found something on Mars. What do you think?
I think if they mention a mothership, then they already have evidence of the probes that mothership was already sending out, which
Right.
is UFOs, right? So
Right.
they're pretty much almost confirming that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That if there's a mothership, there had to be evidence to show that there should have been a mothership in the first place.
Well, there
Right.
is. I want to say there was a picture that they released not that long ago that they did find like some kind of like a older ship kind of looking thing on. I want to say it was Mars or Venus, some shit like that. I have to
Yeah.
look at the video, but they found it there. They're like it looked exactly like it off the satellite photos.
Mm-hmm.
Got you.
It was too square of a shape or whatever to be just a rock, laying out there.
Makes sense. So for me, I don't know, guys. Like the idea that there's possibility of aliens that have the capability of finding us and communicating with us, and because it's one thing to find us, but they also have to communicate with us, right? Like we also have to have the technology to communicate back, right? Let's just say that, for instance, um, let's just say that, for instance, I tried muting you, Blue. I'm sorry.
That's it. Sorry.
Sorry. Let's just say, for instance, there is a civilization that has the capabilities of doing so or communicating, but we don't have the capability of communicating back. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, at the present time, we can't define the law of, speed of light, right? And
Mhm.
so if these people, or I call them people, I don't know what, aliens or whatnot, the civilization has that technology that can traverse, the galaxy faster than light. I don't, how do we receive that message? And not only how do we receive it, how do we send one back? And so those things make me think maybe perhaps not. To me, I think it's more of time. So, this earth is supposed to be like what, 4 billion years old, and I brought this up before. I think there was more time between like certain periods of the dinosaur period than there is the last dinosaur period and us, right?
Mhm.
Meaning that there's been millions and millions of years, and human beings as a Homo sapiens have been around what, 250,000 maybe,
Mhm.
and technologically sound, to what we understand, maybe about 8,000. If we believe that maybe perhaps Egypt or the pyramids or some of the Sphinx is older than what it could be, put it technology could be 10,000 years old. When you compare that to the 4 billion years that the earth has been here, that's a blink of an eye. And so is it possible that there was a civilization on earth, maybe, I don't know, like half, 500 million years ago, that became super intelligent, became technologically sound? There's talks of the poles shifting every so often. Maybe perhaps there is, some sort of evidence of this under the oceans. And then again, you look at the Titanic that's been under the ocean for a little over 100 years or so, and
It's already
it's
almost done.
almost, yeah, exactly. So what can last corrosion at that point?
Yeah, that long. Yeah, yeah, no,
Yeah.
exactly.
But let's just say they found a way. The civilization found a way to preserve something, and we found it. Do you think that we would tell the world if our government found something like that?
Yeah.
They would explore it. They would try to figure out what it's, how it works.
Gain
No,
of
man.
function, baby. Gain of function.
Right, exactly. And so I don't think we would know about it. And if somebody saw something, right, let's just say somebody saw it. Let's say you figured out how it works, you create it, and somebody saw it.
Yeah.
You're gonna tell the world it's yours. You're gonna tell the world, it's some alien stuff. Don't come looking at in my lab. Don't come looking at my garage and see what we're building. You get what
Hmm.
I'm saying? So that's kind of where I think of it, as far as when it comes to the possibilities of aliens. But do I think that there are extraterrestrials out there? Of course. I think that the universe is probably riddled with life. I just don't think that in our situation it's anywhere close enough for us to get to.
Yeah,
I mean,
maybe.
our
I don't
nearest
know.
star is what, like 4 light years away.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
So if we could send a message, and if we could send it and it travels at the speed of light, it take 4 years for them to receive it, to say hello, and for them to say how are you doing. It take another 4 years for that to come back.
Oh yeah,
It's
man.
uh, you
I
know.
saw I saw a chat right here where it says, let me put it up. And I was talking about that last time. Remember that says like different civilizations across the world have almost the same hieroglyphics, in some sort of way, and like
Sure.
it's weird, like that. How do they communicate between each other to know what they're seeing, or the stories or whatever?
Well, perhaps those hieroglyphics are older than we think, and
Mm-hmm.
maybe perhaps they had vehicles like that to traverse, to go, and you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah,
And we just lost the technology. Like, wasn't there like a big fire in Greece or something like that that burned down a lot of history from the Greek
mm-hmm.
library or something like that? And that there's a lot, they had technology such as like Greek fire, which was supposedly something that could, would, when water was thrown at it, would create more flames, and
Yeah.
that you could set something on fire in the water. And so, supposedly we still don't have, or don't know how it's made exactly. So it's pretty crazy. Um, the other topic on today that we wanted to talk about are some ghost stories. We've had a couple of recent ones that have occurred, and we kind of wanted to talk about them. We had one earlier this year. We had a ghost story earlier this year where Hymus showed a couple of pictures of a shadow person that he was able to capture. I wish we had that type of evidence on my stories. Big Blue, you said you had a story as well, right?
Yeah.
Let's
I
let's
will.
start off with yours. What's your ghost story that just recently happened?
Okay, so the other night I was at work, and I am also an X-ray tech at work, right? So I was doing an X-ray on a patient. I close the door, I sit them down, I put the lead shield on their lap.
Mhm.
As I'm walking over to the console to start setting my programming so I could shoot, I think I'm shooting a hand X-ray. The door right behind me that used to be for a CT room we used to use pops open, right? So I was like, I thought it was one of the other girls I was working at, and I walked to the door and I was, hey, what's up? Can I help you? And there's nobody there. At this clinic, that's happened to me 3 times in that X-ray room. Where and I'll do other X-rays, multiple X-rays at night, and it won't open.
Hmm.
Every once in a while, that door will open on its own, and it'll crack, not like a little crack, it'll crack like about a good 4 to 6 inches to make it look like somebody's staring at me from behind me because it opens up while I'm working on the console. And then in the front, they had to turn the doorbell off because, like that night, that had just happened. I was up front um, getting some paperwork ready, and the door would just swing open about a foot, close, swing open about a foot, and close. It was joke playing with me that night, man. It freaked me out because I was like, there's been times I've been in the X-ray room when I forget to send something or I have to adjust something,
Mhm.
and that door opens up and there's nobody behind me, man. In the middle of like at 2 or 3 in the morning when I'm back there.
Dang.
I think it's trying to seduce you.
Yeah.
I would.
Yeah. So we had a question in here real quick. It talked about Dr. Greer. What are our thoughts on him? First and foremost, are you guys familiar with Dr. Greer? Big Blue, are you familiar with him?
No, I'm not.
Jaime?
If maybe I just don't, man. I have so many. I've read so much stuff that I can't remember who he is.
He's the guy that believes in being able to like meditate yourself to other places. Like
Yeah, yeah,
Oh
yeah.
yeah,
Like
yeah, I know.
Well,
not astro. Is it astro project? No, but that you can communicate
yeah,
telepathically with
yeah,
aliens and things like that.
yeah,
I'm a little bit skeptical on it, to be honest with you.
yeah.
Is it possible? Maybe there's a lot of weird things that happen with DMT that
I was about to say
apparently,
that.
yeah, people go into DMT and have similar effects or similar trips or
Hmm.
hallucinogens, and it's kind of described in a similar manner of what he's kind of tapping into.
Yeah,
And so I find it interesting, but I do look at it with a large amount of skepticism. What about you, Hyman?
yeah. I guess with more evidence, but yeah, like the drug hallucinate or the experiences that people have with that certain drug,
Mhm.
which is like our body produces it, right? But not to that point where we can uh, get that experience, right? But like
Right,
these are people like they don't know about each other and they have like the same experience about getting like guided through, right? By
right,
like something humanoid or whatnot.
right.
Yeah, that's just weird. That's weird, man. Like to experience that with someone else having the same experience is just crazy.
No, I know, man. The fact that more than one person have, and the thing is, it's like there's a couple of them that have consistencies. So
Hmm.
there's a few that feel that they find God. There's a few that feel that they find trolls, and I think aliens are the ones that um, trolls, aliens, and elf people.
Yeah,
I
well,
think I've heard that one.
like
You
tall
know,
humanoids.
yeah, exactly. And it's not just one person who's had that hallucinogen under DMT, which DMT, I will be honest with you, I know what it's called. I cannot pronounce it. I'd have to read it. I have to look it up. But it's like what is the street name for it?
Like an LSD
I think so.
or like an acid kind of.
It kind of a little bit different. It's a little different because those things have hallucinogens in them. I think what DMT is something that you have inside you already.
Yeah,
You get what I'm saying? And so it just produces more of it. Um, Now, to my story. So this weekend, and so there's two parts to it. And I'm going to go a little bit backwards first. I'm going to go with this weekend part. This weekend, I had my boy Daniel T and his girlfriend come over. Um, we had our baby shower, my wife's baby shower this past weekend, and they came in from out of town. Good friend of mine, so he stayed at my house. On Sunday morning, he tells me that, or his wife tells me that they had heard somebody knock on the door, like in the middle of the night, asked if it was one of us, and I was like, "Nah, we were crashed out. We wake up early, but not at 1 a.m." And so, or maybe it was even a little bit later than that. And so I was like, nah, it want us, whatever. So I was like, maybe it was just, the wind or something. I was like, sometimes when you open one door, another door will shut behind it. That happens quite frequently in my house, especially with some of the doors. It's just the suction, right? It's nothing paranormal. Well, anywho, I told them about a couple of the situations that I had, and they were kind of nervous about it. And I told them about one that had just occurred a week before. Now, I had installed the security system into my house, right? And one of them comes with a motion detector. I had the motion detector in um, I had it set up in my living area, right? I moved it into my bedroom just because it kept alarming me, right? And so I put it in this area where in my bedroom where it faces kind of sorted towards my master bathroom door. Well,
yeah.
anyways, I just put it there because I wanted. There was so many people moving in and out of the living room earlier.
What's going on?
It was just going off, right? So that night, probably about this was after a live show that we did. So it was either a Wednesday night or a Friday night. Now, I'm not a big party goer. You're not gonna find me out like at the bars or anything like that. I think the last time I went to a club was pre-scene 19, and so
Mhm.
I go to bed early for the most part, and so does my wife. And so she went to sleep, and she had been asleep already for about an hour, and uh, I I see the bedroom door from my kitchen, right? Because I can see my bedroom door. it opened up a little bit, just a little bit, and probably about 3-4 inches, and then it closed up. And then about 3 seconds later, I got a notification on my watch that there was movement in the bedroom. And I thought it was my wife, right, looking out the door and closing just to see if I was the one in the kitchen. But I was walking towards the bedroom door, right? So I was only maybe about 5 to 7 steps away when it was happening. So I walk up to the door and I open it, and I'm expecting to see, either my wife in the bedroom, or maybe she went to the bathroom or something, right? But she's not. She's knocked out of sleep. And I look towards my bathroom door, and that door moved slightly. And I was like, whoa, that's freaking weird. Because it was 2 doors that moved and the one motion detector that went off. And nobody was moving in there at where the area was facing. Like my wife was out. She was asleep. Yeah. And so I don't know what it was, but man, it was pretty creepy. And I told Daniel T about that. I told my buddy Daniel. He has the same name as me. And he was like, man, you should have told me this before we spent the night.
Exactly. I was about to tell you, like, if Jonathan hears this, he's never gonna spend the night there anymore.
Right? He's not coming back over. Yeah, it was creepy because of the fact that I saw the door move, and then I saw on my phone or on my watch the alarm go off of the motion, and then I walk in and she's asleep. Nobody's up. Dang, all my dogs are put up. There's not one in there. I have no idea what it was. Maybe the doors were moving because, like I mentioned before, the suction in the house. Maybe the AC kicked on. It moved one door. It caused the motion detector to go off. Maybe, perhaps. I'm trying to find a logical explanation because I've lived in my house for a while and I like it. I don't want to move.
Throw it away, buy a new one.
All right. I don't want to. The housing market is a nightmare right now. I don't want to have to get another. Sell this one right now. It is what it is. We are at 2:08. Jaime, is this you're going to be signing off to go back to work? Is that correct?
Yeah, I had a story, but I'm going to wait to see if I can get the pictures going.
All right. Okay.
I can tell you the story with picture. That'll be fun.
Yeah, man. If you can get that, that'd be awesome. That'd be dope. We'd like to see that.
But yeah, I'm gonna have to go back to work, unfortunately.
All right, man. Well, we appreciate you being on here. We'll probably just stick around for the next 20 minutes or so and kind of answer questions from the live chat.
I'll be in the live chat, sure.
All right, man. Cool, man. Take care.
Take care, man.
Drive safe.
And so CC says, set up a camera in there. So here's the funny thing is I actually do have cameras in my house. I have a few dogs, and sometimes when I'm out for an extended period of time, I'll have a dog sitter come and take care of my dog. So we do have cameras set up. There isn't one in my bedroom though. The one I actually only have 2 inside the house, and I have a few outside the house, but inside the house I think there's only 2. Now I had one previously when I first moved into my home, and me and my wife decided to go out on a trip, and we got a dog sitter for the first time. We purchased one of these Amazon cameras, and we put it in the living room so that we can see, because I had my dog crates in view of that camera, right? And so we had placed it initially there, and one night I got an alarm that one of my lights was on. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I got pictures. This one took pictures. It's a different one than I have. I have pictures, and it came out about 3:00 in the morning. And the weird thing about the picture thing is, and unfortunately, I don't have it with me. Those pictures are on the device. It was a cheap device. Well, anyways, the only thing that you can make out on the picture was that I have these 3 lights above my kitchen bar, right? And one of them turned on. And the weird thing about that is you can't turn those on individually. You either turn on the light and all 3 of them turn on, or all 3 of them turned off. Yeah. And for some reason, it only happened once. I don't know why, but there was a picture that it had taken and it was on. Now it turned off by the time we woke up and got up that morning, because I don't remember only one light being on, but sometime throughout the night it turned on. I felt that it was probably just due to possibly overpower. I don't know, a circuit acting up. What do you think, Blue?
No, it wouldn't. And all the switches off, it can't pass. There's no connection.
Right.
So there should be no reason for, and especially if it's a, three pendant lights connected together. They either turn on all within a split second of each other, or none of them turn on. So that's pretty weird, man.
Yeah, dude, it was just one. And I've told people that because it was a while ago. It wasn't any time recent. It was probably, let's see, it's probably been about 3.5 years now. And so, the other stories with the door and whatnot, which I have one last one about that one and the alarm going off. Those happened like in the last 7 days, but nothing has happened really too crazy. Like sometimes I think I see something out of the corner of my eye, but it could just be a shadow from a passing car. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
so nothing really has happened in between then. And then Daniel T comes over, and then all hell starts breaking loose. Just playing. Actually, the door thing happened before T came over. But last night I heard what I thought was two knocks over there by the room where he stayed. Now, to me, it sounded like he came outside, and it sounded like if I had an outdoor window shutter and it opened twice and closed twice, just kind of like that with the wind. It didn't sound anything like nefarious, but I don't have anything that moves like that outside.
Yeah.
So that's the weird thing. I was like, it sounds like those metal, metal window bars just being affected by the wind, but I don't have them.
The wind chimes. The wind chimes. Yeah.
It's like that meme that says, there's nothing more beautiful than a child's laughter, unless you don't have one and it's in the middle of the night. That's kind of what I'm saying here. It sounded pretty normal, but the normalness of that sound, I couldn't connect where it came from. Doesn't mean that there's not something there. I think it was just pretty innocent, and I think that door knock that she had heard, Daniel's girlfriend, was probably nothing. It was probably the same thing I heard, because it was consistent in the manner in which she said it happened. It was like she said it sounded like and what I heard outside from like the metal was kind of like, and it was pretty consistent, pretty much the same thing. My thing is she probably wasn't anticipating there being a knock or a noise, so she just heard two noises and contributed them to being a knock. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Metal shutters. Yeah, that's exactly what it kind of sounded like, Lucy. But I don't have metal shutters. That's the problem. But it sounded like a metal shutter on my front door. Like if I had a metal shutter on the front door, which I think I do have something there, but it does. It's wood. It doesn't sound metal. It's wood. You know what I mean? I don't know. Mystery. So you were saying that the at your work office, that you've had this happen 3 times where somebody feels like they're coming in around you.
Yeah, and it's not. I work at this location. Like right now, somebody's on vacation, so I'm covering a couple shifts over there this week.
Right.
And it's every time I work at that location, like it's in that X-ray room. It's always like at 2 or 3 in the morning. I'm walking in there doing my X-rays, and the door will crack open, or like last time, the chair sounded like it moved, and I was like, there shouldn't be anybody in that room because the other door's closed. And I opened the door like a dummy, and there's never anybody in there. I turn on the lights. I walk around the whole room. It's a big room because there used to be a big CT machine in there, and it's empty now. It just has like storage boxes, but nothing ever. Last time it sounded like a pair of crutches I fell over,
Yeah.
And I go in there, and there's nothing like that in that room.
Huh.
I keep hearing this weird noise, and I said it could be the wind. I would say, because there is another back door exit through there.
Right.
and it could be putting pressure in the doors. But it seems it's kind of weird that it only happens when I'm in the room.
Huh. Maybe it likes you, Blue. Maybe it likes you. Yeah, I've heard stories from friends that work in the medical field about places or things that have happened in the hospital. In fact, I remember I was it was my wife's friend's friend. It's kind of weird, but we went to what was it? It was like a little gathering. I think it was one of my wife's friend's birthday, and so she had a lot of friends around. And one of them was a nurse that told us that at the hospital that they worked at, that when they got on the elevator, it opened up at one room, and when it opened, there was like a lady there, but dressed like an older nurse uniform, I guess they said, and said something to him about being on the wrong floor. And then the door closed, and they went to their floor. They went back down, and that floor was apparently, like, at that time under construction or something. There was nobody in there.
Oh wow!
I was like, man,
That's crazy.
I don't know what you're drinking, but I want to try it, and then I'll see if it's the same thing. If I see the same thing, But those things happen. I mean, those stories are out there. Those allegations are out there. Of ghosts and
I believe in it, man. I believe in it. I've had so much weird stuff happen. That you're like, is that real or not? Yeah.
Right. That's the thing, right? Is it real? I would want to believe that it is. The energy behind people and when they pass on, I feel that either moves on to somewhere else greater if they choose to, and if they choose to stay down here for whatever unfinished reason they may have, they may do so. What's up, Publicly Buzzed? Thank you for joining in.
What's going on, guys?
We're just doing something a little different tonight or today. Tomorrow night we'll be back live on the air, probably talking. I don't know what we're going to talk about tomorrow. What do you think?
I think rounds. We should do rounds tomorrow, but I don't know.
Well, we might talk down rounds. We might also bring out the phone lines, open them up, get people talking, asking us questions. Friday.
Somebody say Mulder and Scully. Which one are you?
Yeah.
I'm Scully.
Whoa. All right, I guess that only leaves me to be Mulder. All right, Scully. Yeah, man. Let's see. I like the topics you guys are doing today. Thank you so much, Cece. We appreciate that. Love some ghosts and UFO talk. Yeah, we do too, man. Like I said, when it comes to the UFO stuff, I want to believe so bad. And perhaps maybe at one point we were visited. I just don't know if it's still happening. I feel that with cameras at everybody's disposal nowadays, he looks like, cameras at everybody's disposal, things like that. Just, the population of the people on this planet, and so like everywhere. I feel that there would be some pretty concrete evidence of it. I feel that the reason why we only get glimpses and things of that nature is perhaps maybe these things are flying in airspace that they know is going to be clear, that they know is restricted. You know what I'm saying? And to me, it leads me to believe that if they know those things so that they have the least possibility of getting filmed, then it's probably us. Melanie Star Patch, thank you so much.
Yeah, another super sticker. Thank you.
We appreciate that. Good choice of sunglasses as well.
Yeah, they're nice.
Well, Blue, we're hitting almost to that 1 hour mark. Do you have any final words before we let everybody go?
No, I just want everybody to enjoy today's Tuesday. So enjoy your Tuesday. If you're on spring break, have fun out there. It's going to be a colder weekend. I saw even part of South Texas might even get some snow this weekend. So if y'all are waiting to hit that lake or river till Sunday or Saturday, good luck.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be cold. Texas weather is freaking crazy, man. It's bipolar. But you know what? It's not just in Texas this year. There's been a lot of places throughout the United States right now that are covered in snow and stuff. So
Yes,
uh,
sir.
it is insane. But y'all be safe. We'll be back tomorrow talking a little bit of true crime tomorrow night. Get your phones ready because we'll be taking phone calls. We'll talk probably a little bit of Dylan Rounds. We're gonna kind of get caught up on that. I know we've been kind of teasing that a little bit. We'll probably talk that direction. If you're not familiar with who Dylan Rounds is, he's a young man who was a farmer who just disappeared, and there's been an arrest. There's been an arrest in his case. Blue has been probed.
It's only a rumor, Jaime. It's only a rumor.
Man, there's always some truth behind the rumors. So with that said, y'all be safe. Keep an eye on your backs. And we are the Drunk Church Show. Peace.